Captain's log, stardate 35179.1. The Valor is currently docked at Starbase 211 after a successful shakedown cruise from Sol, which went by uneventful. We are currently docked at Starbase 211 to take on new supplies and crew members before we begin our patrol route along the contested Cardassian and Federation border. Hopefully everything goes as well as our shakedown cruise, however I am still very skeptical. End log.
As the log stated, currently the USS Valor is still docked at Starbase 211. Still taking on a bit of supplies during this time. Gives you guys a little bit of free roleplay while you're on the bridge of the Valor.
Nice. Ooh. Helm is in the opposite spot than I was expecting.
See the bird staring at the lion uneasily.
Ambassador class, right?
Yep.
So yeah, you guys can take the time to do any bit of roleplay or introduce your characters as you see fit. It's currently you're just docked and it's doing station keeping. So if there's any roleplay on the ship you wish to do, you're more than welcome to.
So, where's the comms station, or is that all wrapped up in ops or whatever now?
That's all wrapped up in ops.
Okay. The Shran with a pad in his hand is kind of pacing back and forth in front of the currently off main view screen as he talks with the quartermaster's office on 211, finalizing the last bits of supplies and whatnot being loaded on to the Valor.
What rank is Shran?
Commander. We have lots of commanders on this boat.
Oh.
Sucks for me.
Yeah, me, you, and the doctor are all full commanders.
I'm an ensign.
Yeah. And
That's why I like.
Our chief engineer is a lieutenant.
That's why I like. It sucks for me if a ship of commanders and I'm the only ensign. It's funny actually because the first ship I served on, in the Navy, there was like a ton of E6s. Like we had 9 E6s in my division.
Well, yes, Lieutenant, I understand the Starbase's supply problems. However, you were informed of our full complement of 60 photon torpedoes. I'm afraid 40 is just not going to cut it.
Commander, is there a problem with our loadout?
Nothing that I won't be able to get sorted well before we're ready to head out. Just the normal trying to get things from the quartermaster corps that they know damn well we're supposed to have, but are trying to hold on to their last breath.
But let me know
yes.
if there's anything I can do.
Of course. Thank you, Lieutenant. Yes, we'll have tactical personnel ready to assist with loading as soon as you get here. Commander Tavin, if you could have some of your people ready to assist the yard dogs in getting those last torpedoes aboard and stowed.
Yes, I will send them immediately. They were working on that tactical drill, but that can wait.
Sorry to interrupt. Mr. Rattray, how go the sensor calibrations?
Well, sir, everything appears to be okay, but I won't know until we actually, scan something.
Fair enough. But be advised, if something's off when you're scanning something, I'm not going to give you 3 hours to fix it.
Oh, I'm sure that the engineers could have it fixed in an hour and a half if anything's wrong. Maybe less.
Well, if you're willing to leave your department in the hands of the engineers, that's up to you, but
I've double-checked most of the systems myself, but, you know how that goes.
Captain, last of the new crew are coming aboard. He checks his pad again. Looks like all of our supplies are topped off. We should be ready to leave well before we're scheduled to.
What about that last complement of 20 photon torpedoes that we were short?
Being loaded now, sir.
Okay, well, at least Starbase isn't sending another ship out undercrewed and underarmed. Especially with our mission the way it is.
Don't tempt the ice, sir.
No, definitely don't tempt fate. You're right. Still, I prefer to be optimistic rather than pessimistic, but sometimes there's almost no way to see the good in something. Sometimes.
Well, at least we're not in the middle of open hostilities with the Cardassians. For
Yet,
a minute.
Commander.
Agreed.
Yet.
Sir, I've looked over the specs and being new on board, and I noticed there's a saucer separation. Are we the first ship to have that?
Negative, Mr. Giron. It is a quality of the class. This was a new design for the ambassador classes. Of course, the older Connie and other classes had been able to do it in emergency situations by an explosive separation, but the ambassadors were the first class to build it in as part of a design, and makes it much more easier to reattach when necessary. He taps on his pad.
I find the design adequate for tactical reasons.
Captain, incoming priority 1 message from Starfleet Command.
On screen. Or it is priority 1, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, priority 1.
And on the screen appears the Starfleet logo, and As it clears up, a elderly admiral, probably in his late 90s at this point, appears on the view screen.
Haggard.
Captain Maxwell, I hope your ship is ready to leave Starbase. I've got a mission for you.
Well, as soon as our last complement of photon torpedoes gets on board, we should be good. And you see him just holding a cup of coffee in his hand.
Well, that's good. Have your people step it up. We've received a Priority 1 emergency distress signal from the colony on Sheva 2. I want the Valor to head out there at maximum emergency speed. You're the closest ship to that system.
Of course we are. Everybody else is out on their 5-year missions.
I've got the USS Benjamin Franklin Pierce standing by. They specialize as a medical ship, so if you've got mass casualties, they can come in and assist, but they'll be behind you guys. Be aware that Sheva 2 is deep in the contested zone. And you are under orders to assist our colony and its people.
Understood. I'll do my best. Any response from the Cardassians as of yet about it?
We haven't been able to establish communications with the colony after receiving the distress signal. However, the Cardassians claim this entire region of space. It's still kind of up in the air and under dispute. In 2317, they laid claim to a region in the southern desert on Sheva 2. Our colony is in the northern hemisphere. There have been minor skirmishes off and on over the last 30 years, but this is the first time we've gotten an emergency distress. You should be aware that Gul Bimlet will likely be taking an interest in this event. Depending on what's going on out there, this may be the Cardassians' attempt to take control over the entire system.
Understood. We'll make sure to keep an eye out for the Gull. Other than that, unless there's anything else, sir, we'll get underway as soon as the last photon torpedo is on board.
Very good, Captain. I'm having the Starbase give you emergency clearance. Good luck, and take care out there. Haggard out.
Valor out.
And Taven will just kind of look down and say, I've always admired that man. I've heard rumors that he had his crew work on a new type of chemical weapon disguised as coffee.
I don't think, if I've read the reports correct, Lieutenant, it wasn't him.
Oh, of course the reports will say that, but if you read between the lines, I think that Admiral Haggard was really the brainchild behind the weaponized coffee.
In any event, Commander Taven, let's get those torpedoes loaded.
Yeah. Commander, aren't you related to someone from the, who served under Haggard?
Yes, sir. My grandmother actually was one of his security personnel. She had a lot of interesting stories to tell growing up.
Understandable. Anybody who did that possibly would.
They had early run-ins with the Cardassians. If I'm not mistaken, the Argo was the first Federation vessel to make contact with them. And my grandmother was on at least one mission with where apparently they helped some Bajorans hide an ancient relic from the Cardassians. It was a pretty wild tale she told. I never could tell how much of it was true and how much was just fable.
Well, I guess we'll never know. Most of what I've looked at for the Argo is classified under some obscure Starfleet regulation about, I think it's something to do with temporal something. I don't know.
Well, I heard the security on that ship was top notch.
Would have had to have been.
My grandmother had anything to say about it, it was. Captain, shall I alert the crew that we'll be departing early?
Yeah, recall all staff currently aboard the starbase. And prepare to leave dock.
Mr. Zeron, could you patch me through to all crew?
Patched in.
This is Commander Thashran to all crew members of the USS Valor. Report to stations immediately. We will be leaving in, and I'll check my countdown. We will be leaving Starbase in 20 minutes. Report to your stations and prepare for maximum warp. Thashran out.
Yeah, Tavin gave me presence security difficulty 1. Get those extra torpedo supplies loaded quicker.
You said for me to do it?
Yeah, I mean, even though Strat negotiated it, I mean, you're still kind of in charge of the security department getting it loaded and everything.
Okay. Not a problem. Let's see. I don't think any of these will count. All right. No whammies.
Well, you succeeded. No momentum gained. Oh yeah, and you're able to get the last minute of the torpedoes. After 20 minutes have passed, most of the crew is come on board, and you get a little chirp on your comm badge, Captain.
Maxwell here.
Captain, this is sickbay. What is going on?
Getting ready to depart Starbase in a hurry. We've got a priority 1 distress. Oh, good grief! Now I forget the name of the colony.
Sheva.
Sheva 2.
Thank you. From the colony on Sheva 2.
Are we expecting casualties?
Unknown at this time, they have been unable to get in contact with the colony ever since the distress call was received.
Understood. Just keep in mind, Captain, we can't take on too many injured. We don't have the necessary equipment or space for it.
Understand that. We should hopefully be getting better equipment later down the line. I hope.
Very well.
Captain.
Doctor out.
Captain, if I might make a recommendation, just in case we do have to take on significant numbers of casualties, might we start preparations for turning a cargo bay into some sort of emergency medical facility?
Agreed. Going ahead and get started on that just in case. Be sure to coordinate with sickbay and make sure that any equipment that they'll need is there. Just let them know it's in case they need more room for casualties.
Of course.
Mr.
Commander.
Rattray. Oh, wait. Go ahead.
Get me a status report from all departments. Make sure we have all crew on board. I want to leave as soon as possible. It's been 20 minutes.
All
So-
decks report in, and all personnel are on board.
Perfect. Just great. Then in that case, give me all ship.
Ready.
All hands, this is the captain. We are preparing to leave space dock for Sheva 2. Make sure all items are secured if need be. And hopefully everything goes well. Bridge out.
Mr. Zeron, contact Starbase 211 and request permission to disembark.
Contacting Starbase. Do I need a roll for that, or
No.
Starbase is the law requesting departure clearance?
Valor, this is Starbase 211 docking control. You are cleared to depart.
Docking clamps release, Captain.
Set course for Sheva 2. Head 1/4 impulse until we're clear of space dock airspace, and then maximum emergency warp. We're in a hurry, guys.
All right. The Shran will maneuver us out of space dock or out of the starbase on thrusters, and then go to impulse till we're clear for warp. And I will plot us a course to Sheva 3, Sheva 2, Sheva System, wherever we're going.
Sheva System. Atlantic
Right.
to Sheva 2.
If anyone has the Alpha Quadrant book, Starbase 211 is like just a little lower than in the middle of the map, and Sheva is just a little bit to the left of it.
Yeah, so real quick. Just trying to give me reason con difficulty of 2 assisted by the ship's computers plus con to plot a course.
All right. Difficulty 2. Astronavigation for a focus, I'm guessing. And I'll give you 1 threat for bold and for the 3rd die. I'll get to reroll 1 of those. There we go.
Does the ship assist?
Yes, computers con for the first roll for the ship.
You want me to take it?
I've got it already coming up
Okay.
here in just a second. Computers, con, 1 die, ship has a focus, roll.
No whammies. Course plotted and laid in, sir.
Engage.
Engaging. Sir, recommend we alternate maximum speed with normal cruising speed to cool down.
Course, oh, good grief. I think it's like 6 hours before we have to, or 3 hours before we have to slow down and cool down.
12. We can do 9.4 for 12 hours and then go down to 9 for our regular max cruise.
Yeah, let's do that.
Increasing speed to warp 9.4. GM, what's our ETA?
I sent it to you.
Oh, so you did. Alternating emergency warp with maximum cruise. Captain, we should arrive in 15 hours.
Good. That puts us, let me guess, 3 hours at warp 9 after our 12 of 9-4, or do we hit 9-4 again after that? Me as a player, I'm trying to figure out the
So
times.
if you're going at your maximum cruising speed, which is warp factor 9, it would take you a total of 17 hours to get there. Alternating between maximum emergency warp and safe cruising speed, you're looking at a total of 15.
Okay. Well, we still want to get there as quickly as possible, so I'll take the 15 hours.
Mr. Zeron, see if you can't get in contact with the colony. Keep trying.
Opening hailing frequencies to the colony. Sheva 2, this is USS Valor. Please respond. Response, Captain.
The Shran will try and see if he can pull up anything, whatever history and data we have on the colony in our data banks.
Yeah, I believe there was 2 people who wanted to look up some information on the colony. So Tavin, give me insight plus security, difficulty of 2. Shrank, give me insight plus command, difficulty 2, or yeah, it would be command to pull up the relevant information for Shran, and difficulty 2 for you, insight security.
Can I use my focus of galactic politics?
Yeah.
And I will give you 1 bold, or 1 threat to activate bold, and an extra die. And I'll re-roll 1.
1 momentum gain, and also this is a shift assisted by the ship's computers plus the relevant department that you're using.
Okay. So sensors plus security.
Computers plus security.
Oh.
It's still
It's still good. Yeah.
3 momentum gained for that.
Okay.
Can the Shran use Starfleet protocols as a focus? Since I'm searching a Starfleet database.
Sorry, what focus?
Starfleet protocols.
Add increased complication.
Sure. And I'll give you a threat. 3 dice.
Okay, I'm guessing that's a computer's command role for that
Yes,
from the ship.
computer's command.
Nice.
Difficulty on that one, Haggard? Or the Shran?
It was 2, so 1 momentum.
Okay,
Yes.
one more.
Anything anybody else wishes to look up or do on the ship?
No. Captain, I've been analyzing the situation in that system. And as you know, it's on the edge of the contested zone, and I believe it would be an ideal location for the Cardassians to try to set up a base. The
That's
local military leader who would probably be pushing the hardest will be Gul, is it Bemlet?
Yep, Bemlet.
Bemlet. He is leader of the Cardassian military of that sector, so I suspect that we may have to deal with him.
agreed.
Well, sir, it looks like the colony may be a tough nut, Cardassians notwithstanding. It was founded back in 2292 by a group of 400 colonists from someplace on Earth called Poland. Current governor's name is Leszek Kaniki. The name of the colony proper is New Malbork. Right now they've got just over 7,000 humans, primarily agricultural colony, Class M. Looks like the Cardassians are set up in the southern desert, as Admiral Haggard said. But
Yeah. Could someone spell that governor's name for me?
yeah, I'll toss it in the.
Taven just kind of thinks for a moment. Poland. I did not know that they had a land of poles for birds to land on, but very nice.
It's not actually on the poles. It's a little bit different than that, Lieutenant.
Oh, demoted.
Oh, wait.
Ouch.
I thought Tavin was a lieutenant.
Commander.
Oh,
We're all,
sorry.
We're all commanders.
Okay, cool.
Not all of us.
Yeah, not all of us.
All the important players.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
So who was that said that?
The Birdman.
The Birdman?
Harvey
Okay.
Harvey Birdman.
Roger that. Roger that.
Any questions or more looking up information you guys wish to do?
Commander Tavin, do you
Meanwhile,
have any?
I'm sending a poor little E5 to go work on his replicator.
Commander Tavin, do you have any information on Cardassian forces that we know to be in the area? Beyond whatever colony they've set up?
Maybe.
This will be a momentum spend.
Do we want to?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Sure. Spend away. Ow.
Spent.
To do a long-range sensor scan.
God, that's going to take getting used to, going to ops instead of science for sensors.
That will be a reason plus science difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science.
Sir, the Gale is known to have 4 to 7 Galer class vessels under his command in this sector.
I'll give you one threat, and I have sensor operations focus.
That will apply.
You say that will or won't?
That will apply.
Okay. Two successes.
Probably typing information to you.
Got it.
And then, did you hear what I said about the forces in the area?
No, I didn't.
Yep, I did.
Ah.
4 to 7 Galors.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sensors detect 3 Galer-class vessels heading for the Sheva System.
GM, just out of curiosity, how does the Valor match up against the Galer class?
Don't even need to be the GM to answer that.
I don't know.
It will be a tough fight. Just put it that way.
They're comparable even to a galaxy.
No, they're not.
Each.
They're actually weaker than. They're technically, game mechanics wise, they are smaller than a ambassador class, but they still are fairly formidable in numbers.
And they also tend to hunt in packs.
Yeah.
GM, so I know the Cardassians claim the system, and I'm assuming the Federation also is claiming the system.
Yes, this is why this whole region is contested. So. Hence the Federation Cardassian border conflict.
Right. Should we warn them off, Captain?
Well, don't they have claim to a colony area in the southern hemisphere? Well, we
Yes,
have
sir.
claim. Well, we have claim to a northern colony area. Both of us have reason to be headed in that direction right now. I don't see any reason to warn them off unless something nefarious has happened to our colony site.
Then may I suggest letting them know that we've seen them and are on their way? Maybe we could avoid any tragic surprises.
Agreed. That we should probably do. And open a
question.
channel to the lead vessel.
I don't have any questions at this time. But can I create a advantage now that could have to do with the Galar class later?
No, currently not right now. Not at the moment. Keep in mind, you are actually too far out to be hailing them. This is on the
Okay.
tiptoe section of your actual long range sensors.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I guess I'll take a moment to give the small talk about the Setlik 3 massacre that happened about 11 years prior. Setlik's not too far off from Sheva.
I don't think that's happened yet.
It is. I looked it up. It happened in 2347. Just means Miles O'Brien has been in Starfleet way too long, but yes.
While we're traveling before the shift's over, the Shran will try and do some research on the legal situation with the colony as far as the competing claims and all that stuff.
I have 2 extra momentum if anyone else has questions. I'm happy to give them up.
That is for the actual long range sensor scan. So that is not for any other information. Just let you know.
Yeah. So if anyone else has questions regarding that.
So did you pick up anything else? Just the 3 Galors?
Yeah, just the 3 Galar class vessels. And they're heading towards Sheba.
Sure. Ensign, when will those ships arrive compared to our ETA?
Checking now. Will arrive approximately 6 hours before the Cardassians will.
Sorry, you cut out there at the beginning. We're going to arrive 6 hours first?
Yes, we will arrive approximately 6 hours ahead of the Cardassians.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other question particularly related to the sensor scan. Anybody else got any?
I can't think of anything.
Are they taxing their engines to get there, or are they at normal cruise?
They're at their maximum warp.
Fair enough.
Looking up intel on the Galar class, looks like their maximum warp's 8.7.
Con diff 2. Starfleet protocols as a focus.
This is more
Law.
galactic law. And
Fair. All right, take a threat for bold. Reroll that comp.
2 momentum gained. I believe that puts you at 5.
I think my roll 20 locked up. Testing. Can you guys still hear me?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Thashran has got a pad and his panel working, and then he steps up and hands the pad to the captain. Captain, I prepared a briefing on the legal situation on the colonies on Sheva 2.
Okay. Oh boy.
Just another day in the disputed zone.
Yeah. This is gonna be fun. I don't like this.
Taven
course it-
raises an eyebrow.
the same old story, Commander. The humans say they were there first, so it's rightfully theirs. The Cardassians claim that the Union has claimed the planet as part of their rightful destiny. But there's no actual paperwork, no formal agreement, no treaty. And both sides claim the system.
Well, I plan to back up the Federation claim.
Of course, we all do, but
Admiral Haggard's orders were that we were to aid the colony.
yeah. Problem is, this situation is very, very precarious. All right. I need to do some research of my own into Federation laws of colonized planets, whether they're automatically considered members of the Federation. I'm guessing they are because humans are one of the founding members of the Federation.
I believe if they were colonized by a Federation member, then it too would also be a Federation member automatically.
Yeah, but I'd rather have paperwork concerning that and basically saying, yeah, you can claim the planet is yours in the name of destiny, but I've got paperwork that says it can't be, type deal, know what I mean?
All of these colonies in the contested zone, it's just trouble. It's going to be trouble for a long time.
Yeah.
Anything
Sorry.
else you guys wish to do?
Captain, I might recommend possibly running a battle drill with emphasis on tactics seen by Gower class vessels.
Running a battle drill using those tactics right now. I mean, unless you prefer to do it in simulations right now with the computer.
And it's probably not a good idea to be doing it at warp.
Yeah, agreed. Actual battle drills are supposed to be conducted at sublight speed so we can properly maneuver and everything, so.
No worries about maneuvering, Captain. I can handle it.
Well, true.
What we could do if we really want to run it while at warp, we can run a simulation incorporating the holodeck, but keep the actual navigation separate from the drill.
Yeah, that'd be the best way to do it. You've got about 14 and a half hours there, Commander. Why don't you and a few others see to it?
Captain, I would like to see if we can work on engine efficiency a little bit.
If I remember basic engineering correctly, that's something that has to be done at sublight speeds. While you can get into researching possibilities of doing it right now, if I remember correctly, No changes can be made until it's sublight or at space dock, and right now we need to get to Sheva 2 as quickly as possible. While I do understand where you're coming from, I hope you understand the situation we're in.
Absolutely.
Captain, I recommend we rotate out Alpha Shift slightly early so everyone can get some rest before we actually reach the system.
Agreed. Don't want anybody falling asleep on duty.
I'll take care of it. And the Shran will make those arrangements to get Beta Shift in early so Alpha Shift can have a break and get a little bit of sleep, food, whatever.
All right, you do that, and the time passes. Everyone takes a long break. All of you come back on duty just mere hours before, or well, probably actually about an hour or two before you arrive in the system. And we will go to the next scene. Go down one moment.
Okay. Yep.
The Valor enters the Sheva system. Currently, sensors indicate that it does show Sheva 2 with its solo moon. Currently, there are no ships in orbit of it.
Recommend yellow alert, Captain.
Agreed. Try contacting our colony on Sheva 2 again.
Activating yellow alert.
Keep a sharp eye out on our Cardassian friends. Mr.
No
Geron.
response from the colony, Captain.
Sensor sweep of the planet. See if anything is out of the ordinary. We know where our colony should be.
This will be a reason plus science. You will also probably need to move in closer to get a good in-depth scan of the planet.
Understood.
You're currently in
Shall I-
extreme range.
Shall I put us in orbit?
Yeah. Put us in orbit. Try and get us in a geosynchronous orbit with the colony, where the
Understood.
colony should be.
GM, do you want to combat play this out? Power spins or
No, just give me a roll for that. So, because it's more of like an advantage. So, control plus con is by the ship's engines plus con, difficulty of 2.
okay? Let's make sure you have plenty of threat by giving you one for bold. Let's see if I can roll a complication for you. Oh,
Computers con?
No, engines con.
Thank you.
Well,
How about we just squash that comp for you there, the Shran?
thank you.
So you gain 1 momentum. And the ship maneuvers into geosynchronous orbits over the colony.
Rattray, get me a scan.
Begging the captain's pardon, but that's Mr. Geron's department, sir.
Oh, my
It could be
bad.
either. It could
My
be
bad.
either.
I was referring to the science officer.
They're used to using Chitre because the normal science officer is always late.
Yeah, in the TMP and TOS areas, it's always the science officers doing the system. While we're in the era now, where it's the
Where's the
ops
ops
guy.
officer?
and
Yeah.
it's throwing us.
Yeah.
Well, even in next gen, it's often either con or tactical. Basically, either can do it. So really, any of the three, con, tactical, or science.
We've just been playing in TOS and the movie era so long.
Game mechanics purposes, though, operations and science officers have the same roll ability, which is a free question. Whenever you
Right.
succeed at a task, to gather information from, potentially. But to scan the colony is going to be a reason plus science. Difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science.
Reason and science.
Yes, sir.
And since I previously succeeded at a science scanning test, I don't know, would this theory apply? No?
No, it has to be a task that's exactly kind of the same. This is essentially a different scan. So
Okay, well, but sensor operations still apply.
yes.
How much momentum do we have right now?
We've got 5.
Alright, I'm gonna burn one.
Okay. Nice.
Definitely worth the one.
Say again?
I said definitely worth the one.
Yeah.
3 momentum gain, so you're at 1 float.
Yep.
Captain, I'll yield the float to you if you want.
You need to get the information that you got first, so.
The colony has suffered severe damage due to small disruptor explosions. Appears that many small fires are still happening within the colony. Scans show life signs within the colony. Some are faint. Most appear to be underground in small storm bunkers.
Can we get an identification on the weaponry used? I'm being in this area, I'm guessing it's Cardassian, but I want to make sure.
Typical Cardassian and Klingon mortar fire from ground troops.
Klingon. Oh.
I
All right.
knew that treaty would never hold.
Well, if the colonists have been buying their own weapons, if this is not an actual military takeover, they may well have
They might have been using Klingon weaponry, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Captain, since we know the Cardassian ships are on their way here, do we want to maybe disguise our ship in either a very low orbit or a very high orbit?
No. We're here on official Federation business conducting a investigation of why we not only received a distress signal from our colony but lost communication with it. Number one, prep an away team. Make sure you take medical teams with you. Anybody who needs to be gets immediately transported to the ship, and see if you can gather any information as well as to what happened down there.
Hi, Captain. Mr. Giron, do you have any sense of readout on potential Cardassian troop dispositions? Are we beaming into a hot landing zone, or do things look relatively quiet down there?
Stand by. There's no Cardassian life signs in or around the colony itself.
Good. Still, Captain, I think we should take a security team as well.
Agreed.
And I'll contact Thashran to Dr. Key.
Yes, Bridge.
Dr. Key, I'm taking a away team down to the planet below. Looks like there has been some sort of fairly major firefight. We do expect wounded. Have a medical team meet us in transporter room C.
Understood.
And let's spend 2 momentum for the security team and for the medical team.
There'll be 1 threat, 1 momentum for the security team, and 1 momentum for the medical team.
Okay, so 2 momentum, 1 threat. On the way down, I'm also going to spend 1 momentum for an opportunity cost to get a expandable baton in case we do wind up seeing combat.
And I'd like to switch out the Type 1 phaser for a Type 2.
Okay, Type 2 is free, so that's definitely standard equipment, so...
And can I get my upgrade from a Type 2 to a Type 3?
We're spending
That-
all the momentum.
That is a momentum and threat spin.
Because it
If
says
It's up to the captain if he's okay with me taking a phaser rifle.
I mean, you're dropping it into a possible combat zone. It's good to have it or good to need it. Good to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
1 more momentum and 2 threat.
All your momentum just disappeared. You're not getting threat.
I know.
I know.
It's the Sunday night game. That's how
It is.
works.
It is. Well, that's also how the Thursday night game works too.
Commander Tavin, Mr. Giron, you're with me.
Are you playing a supporting character, Captain?
I possibly will, because I believe you probably don't have anything else set up on board the ship right now.
Right now, I do not.
Okay, but I'm leaving my captain there in case you have something. How about I take... Good grief, I think I'll take the doctor.
Okay, you're gonna play
I'll play the doc.
Kai. Okay.
Is it Kai or Key?
Actually, probably Key.
Okay.
I didn't think about it. Key. All right. So you'll be playing the NPC.
Let's take an engineer along. That way, if our engineer does show up.
I've got engineering skills.
Yeah, but we're expecting our chief engineer is running late because he's on guard duty this weekend, and he may or may not. What?
How long did he say he would be late? He didn't give it time. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Because so far you have a medical team and a security team, which
Right.
I do not have proper tokens for that.
Yeah, my character's a good mix of science and engineering.
Okay. Yeah, I was more just concerned if the our 5th player showed, but he's probably going to be so worn out. Would it cost anything to get Zeron an engineering kit?
Actually, yes, it will. It'll be 1 momentum.
Might be worth spending.
Ignore the token badges. They're the wrong insignia for right now.
Hello, Sajaret.
The transporter room you got here.
All right. To beam down to the colony is going to be a control plus engineering, assisted by these ships. Sensors plus engineering. Base is 2. You're beaming not to a path, so increases difficulty by 1. You're currently in the transport room, so it goes down by 1.
What was the
it will be a difficulty 2. I'm calculated because there's math involved every time you do a transporter roll.
Okay, I'll grab Shazaret. She does have transporters and replicators as a focus. He says diff 2.
Diff 2.
Okay, so because you've got plenty of threat, I'm going to give you the last momentum. This is control engineering.
Yes, it is.
Okay, here goes nothing. She's coming right along. Somebody wants to grab the ship.
I got it. Give me
activated.
just a second. Sensors plus engineering. Roll that.
All right. You're at currently 2 momentum.
Gained 1. Okay.
And we've just met the secondary character who will be maxed out sooner than anyone else.
Yeah, the
transporter.
Yeah.
And as we get beamed down, Taven's like, I remember when these things were upside down.
What?
The transporters, the top used to be the bottom.
Just how old are you?
And we go to the theater of the mind.
Theater.
Oh, we're on holodeck now.
It is my location where I don't have a map for.
It's a holodeck.
Let's see. You go by Earth years, right?
Security, spread out. Commander Tavin, why don't you see if you can't give us an aerial view? Just be careful, though.
Of course, as I hold my rifle and start to flap my wings, keeping a wide eyes.
You know what? This feels like this needs to be a roll. So, control con difficulty 1.
Okay. Control con.
It's kind of unfamiliar atmosphere, so content's a little bit different.
Okay. I get it. I get it. I don't think I have any focuses, although I do have the combat
Trait.
talent, the trait, or
That's
well,
a
not the
little
talent.
different. Aerial combat's a little bit different, but
All right, so no focus. I suppose I should probably use 1 momentum just to be safe.
all right. You get it back +1, so just put it in there. So yes, you take off and you magnificently, fly up and start getting a nice bird's eye view of the colony. But when you beam down, you actually do find the colony devastated. There are several fires. You actually do see some of the colonists, and they're rushing over trying to put out the fire as best they can. You do see a bunch of people wounded and injured, and they have what appears to be a little makeshift medical tent kind of sprawled out towards the colony center.
Dr. Key, you and your people get over there and see if you can help.
Of course.
And what sort of sensor scan are we doing? Or tricorder scan?
I just want to see what life signs are around, what structures, get like a layout.
I will kind of give this to you. A lot of the structures are pretty badly damaged. Most of the stuff that is livable in is actually the storm shelters that they've been using for essentially to hide in and weather out the bombardment. The colony is pretty devastated. But any further information beyond that, you'll have to. That would be a task roll.
Does there appear to be anybody in charge directing people?
I don't mind doing a task roll. But if you don't have a layout, that's fine. I just, it's kind of easier to actually see it. That's okay.
So, like I said, it's a city. It's not really grid. It has a grid. It's got a center and it kind of spirals out in like a circle type formation. There's a river nearby that they seem to be, gathering water from to try to put the fires out that are still, blazing. For right now, for the most part, it seems like some of them are isolated in groups, but you don't really see too many people like a authoritarian figure. Most are kind of running in and out between the medical tent, and there does seem to be someone there that might be in charge, but it's hard to say.
Head that way, and I'll contact the ship. The Shran to Valor.
Valor here.
We need emergency firefighting supplies beamed down, particularly suppressant projectors. These people are trying to put out fires using river water.
Understood. We'll see what we can scrounge together, but as you know, Commander, we're not an emergency response vessel.
Anything would help. It looks like the attack didn't happen terribly long ago, or another one just occurred. I'll report back when I've figured out who's in charge down here.
Understood. If you can get in contact with Governor Kunichi, that'd be good.
Understood.
Here's a question: could we use the transporters to beam water directly above the fire?
That's inventive. I like that.
Possibly. There's probably multiple ways you could put the fire out.
Well, if the Shran will head for the person who seems to be in charge under the medical tent.
All right. And you head to the medical tent. There is currently a number of Federation civilians. As you kind of approach the tent, you see, many of them, and
Is this Julia Iwinski appear to be in charge or directing?
she seems to be directing a lot of different people, and she goes, "Thank God, Starfleet."
Commander Thashran of the USS Valor. How can we help?
Any way you can. Currently, we're trying to tend to all of our wounded and put the fires out. But
I've got fire suppression equipment on the way. Dr. Key and her medical team are at your disposal. We're not an emergency response ship, but we do have backup in the form of the USS Pierce available. How bad is it?
it's pretty bad.
Governor Kanicki?
He's dead. He died last night during the shelling. I'm surprised the signal went out. As soon as the mortar shed hit our communications building,
All right. Who's in charge now that he's passed?
I guess I am. Everyone seems to be looking to me, so I'm
I
doing
know
the best I can.
I know you've got a lot going on right now, but we need to know what happened here.
I mean, long story. I mean, we've had tussles with them before, but never to this degree. But I guess it started about 8 days ago. One of our storage warehouses. We've been food storage for the coming winter, and several of the farmers went to go into add to the storage and noticed that fair amount of our food storage was missing. We suspected the Cardassians. It's not the first time they've stolen from us. One of our local farmers, him and several of his friends went to the Cardassian colony to try and get our supplies back, and well, that confrontation didn't go so well. Martian and his men, they killed 2 of the Cardassian colonists, and they barely made it back here alive. And though both him and his men are currently in critical condition from the bombing, but
So, Federation citizens fired first?
I can't answer. That's unclear. All I know is the Cardassians claim that 2 of theirs were killed in the incident. Um, the governor went attempt to smooth things over with the Cardassian governor, and things have not gone right since. And now this. Look, we have over 3,000, at least what I can tell, wounded, and I don't know if some of them are going to make it through the night.
Understood. We'll do everything we can. I've got to report back in. And I'll step a bit away and hit my comm badge. The Shran to Maxwell, Captain Maxwell.
Maxwell here.
Sir, I've got a general sense of what's been happening, and I'll fill the captain in on everything that Iwinski just told me. And that you contact the Cardassian governor. Let him know that there are Starfleet officers on the scene, and it's time for farce to end until we can sort it out. We've also I've been in reports of 4,000 wounded. We're going to need the Benjamin Franklin Pierce and her medical facility, sir.
Agreed. I'll get in contact with the Admiral and let him know. But, as you know, they're behind us. I don't know how soon they'll get here.
Yes, sir. Dr. Key is working hard, as well as her team, and I've got security scouting the area.
Understood. I need a more clear report as to, well, who instigated the combat. Because, I mean, if it's the Cardassians who fired first.
Well, that seems to be up in the air, sir. Like I said, the human colonists thought the Cardassians had been stealing some of their food stores. Sounds like a group of roughnecks went to confront them about it. Things went south. Whether the Federation colonists fired first, the Cardassian ones did, remains unclear.
Yeah.
I recommend we start an investigation, particularly looking at the food warehouse, and work from there.
Yeah, start there. Just conduct your investigation how you see fit, Commander. Keep me updated.
Aye, sir.
I need to get on the horn to the Admiral.
Aye, sir.
And after the channel's closed, Captain will look to whoever is at Ops and go, get me a subspace communication back to 211.
I think we can take care of that real quick. You're not there. Are you trying to contact? Are you trying to contact the actual starbase, or are you trying to get hold of Admiral Haggard?
I'm trying to get a hold of Admiral Haggard. I thought he was on 211.
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's on his command ship, the Argo.
I think it's the science officer guy that's at the op station.
It's just filling in. On screen appears Admiral Haggard.
Admiral, thanks for taking my call.
Of course. What's happening on Sheva 2?
It's not good, sir. The colony was attacked. We believe it was by the Cardassians. However, our preliminary investigation has revealed that, and basically he'll just fill him in,
Right.
going through the entire thing. I don't want to go through the entire spiel. But we've got approximately 3,000 wounded. We're going to need the Pierce here, sir.
Understood. I'll have them routed your way directly. I'll also reposition the Crazy Horse and the Tecumseh, but they're close to a week out. You're going to be on your own there for a while, Captain, and you're in a sticky situation.
Very sticky, sir. We've got 3 galores headed our way.
I can't get anything to you in time enough to help.
I know. I know.
See if you can't try and diffuse the situation. While we don't have a completely signed peace treaty, we've managed to keep things cool in this area to this point. See what you and your crew can find out and try to keep a lid on things if at all possible. But if worse comes to worse, your orders are to aid our colonists. How you interpret that, you've got plenty of latitude, which a wise sage once told me meant plenty of rope to hang yourself with if you're not careful.
That's what I'm afraid of, sir. First mission out of space, Doc. Don't want to ruin my career over it.
Welcome to the comfy chair, Captain
Yeah.
Maxwell. I'll get the Pierce on its way to you. In the meantime, good luck. If there's anything else I can do, just let me know and keep us advised.
I'll do my best, sir.
Haggard out. Mr. Geron, Commander Tavin, see if you can figure out if we've got any Cardassian forces in position to resume attack on the town. Looks like they used mortars pretty heavily.
Do I see anything from way up of any troop movements or anything like that?
But that's the kind of why I was doing the sensor scan earlier.
Yeah, there's no Cardassians in the area. There's no troop movements that you can see.
All right, Commander Tavin, position your team to provide us with some kind of a tripwire perimeter. I need you and Ensign Geron to meet me on the west side of town at the food storage warehouses. Looks like that's where this all started and the best place for us to start our investigation. The captain is going to try and contact the Cardassian governor and see if he can't buy us some time without hell raining down.
I dive down, gaining speed, and then at the last second, flap my wings and kind of pull up right in front. I'll get right on that.
Show off.
Give me control plus security difficulty 2, Tavin, to set up, a basic perimeter of defense. This will also cost an additional momentum for the opportunity to kind of place the tripwires.
Oh, I wasn't talking about an actual physical tripwire, just people in positions to keep an eye on things to let us know if the
Oh.
Cardies came back.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Never mind.
I didn't figure we had enough to actually establish a real, hardcore defense
No.
perimeter, but enough to
You don't.
give us warning. Give us
Well,
some
what
early
about like
warning.
a sensor net? Like a perimeter sensor net?
You could set that up, but just it would still be a control plus security difficulty of 2, and then there'll be an opportunity cost of 1 with that to get the appropriate equipment down to the planet.
Do we want to do that?
That's fine by me.
Okay, well, let's do it. And I'll give you 1 threat for bold security and extra dice.
Who's gonna do it?
I'd be Tevin. Control security. It still doesn't matter.
There we go.
Get the so you start 3 because it would have been 1 moment to spend cost, but yes. You set up the appropriate sensor nets around the colony and have guards, security personnel positioned at different points to, be alerted at a moment's notice if there's any troop movement to the colony.
And I'm going to fill in Tavin and Sharon on what I've learned from Julia. And basically, I'm going to leave you guys to the investigation. And I'm going to go back and try and organize the people who are fighting fires and, start distributing our suppressants that are being sent down.
Can I sync my tricorder so that if anything crosses the sensor net, that it alerts my tricorder?
I mean, everybody will get the warning. That's what the advantage is for.
Okay.
See if you two can find out what exactly happened at the warehouse. They blamed the Cardassians. See if you can find any evidence one way or another. That's the first place we can start until we can open communications with the Cardies.
I'll get right on it, sir. I'll get the truth.
And I'll start organizing the fire brigades.
Let me know if that transporter idea works.
Will do.
That's going to use up a lot of power.
Yeah, I'm counting more on just, some fire suppressants from the ship to help out. Or
Well, I was thinking of it more of like if there was a really big fire that like normal wasn't working. Like you could beam like half a lake on top of it and just like.
yeah, what kind of fires are we dealing with size-wise?
Most of it is just small in scale. Like, most of them, they actually got it pretty much out for the majority of it. It's nothing that's gonna they're just trying to get working as fast as they can to put out the small stuff before it gets bigger.
Right. So yeah, I'll try to help with that by getting good fire suppression equipment in their hands. And
presence command difficulty 2 to kind of create that advantage to get enough equipment down from the ship.
Command difficulty 2. I'll take a momentum for a 3rd die. I don't think I have, unless Starfleet protocols would come in here, which I don't think it will. So
no.
Let's see if I can do anything. Oh wait, I got the wrong thing clicked. Not my best roll, but I made it.
Currently at 2 momentum. So you're off dealing with that. Tavin and Zeron, right? the last name?
Yeah.
Okay. You head towards the warehouse. You walk in, and you find that the warehouse in question is badly damaged. Even peering inside, whatever was inside this warehouse has been pretty much been destroyed. So maybe a few small crates that had the uh, fortune of surviving the disruptor blast or explosions that happened um, on top of the building and whatever fire might have spurred in here. Give me reason plus science, difficulty of 3. Complication, I have threat, so I'll make this complication range of 3 as well. As you start scanning with your tricorder inside the warehouse building, what's left of it?
Sensor operations?
No, because that deals with the ship.
Not necessarily, but okay. Let me spend a momentum for an extra die. Is this basically just scanning with the tricorder?
Yes, you're scanning with the tricorder. You're
All right.
essentially picking up to see whether or not there's claims, which you're actually scanning for biological residue.
So does testing a theory apply?
It's a new type of scan. So unless you're actually doing, this is the way it works, is unless you're doing the same, like task, that similar before, then currently there's a complication on the table. And you missed it was difficulty 3, so you did miss it by 1. Do you wish to re-roll that by spending determination, or is the roll going to stand?
Well, that's why I asked about that talent that allows the reroll.
Testing theory does not allow a reroll. Testing theory allows you to roll 1 additional d20 if it's covered by the same field. You're thinking of theory into practice, which allows the reroll. This is different. This task involves you're actually doing sort of. I would probably take, which you didn't get a 5 or lower, but I would probably take research because you were kind of doing sort of forensic research. In this case, you're looking for biological signatures that would indicate that yes, the Cardassians were here. Yes, they probably stole food. But unfortunately, you failed the roll, and there was a complication. I just need to know if that's covered stand or not.
I would at least like to get rid of the complication. What is that? 2 momentum, usually?
2 momentum, yes, and you currently only have 1 momentum.
Oh, yeah, but we can switch out a threat, too, so take the 2 threat.
If I accept that, though. I can.
If you accept it?
Yes, I can refuse that.
Alright, well, that's what I'm asking to do.
Since the roll failed, I will also use the complication here. During your scan, you conducted that the warehouse is just too badly damaged to get any sort of forensic readings on if the Cardassians were able, if they stole food or whatnot, or who is potentially responsible for it. The same token as for the complication wise, that you're not going to be able to because of the damage is so bad, you're not going to be able to get any further scans within the warehouse dealing with any sort of forensics work.
Is there a task that can be done to overcome that complication?
Not at this time. Like, you're not going to be able to scan for DNA residue, but you could probably figure out what might have been stolen. That will be a separate role.
Yeah, no, I there's nothing else for me to do right now. What does Tavin want to do?
Not sure.
Do you want to try to get a better scan than I did?
I just don't want to get meta. You know, you didn't get it, so I'll do it. You know, I'm just thinking, you know, if we were both there, I would assume that you did a good job. You know what I mean?
Can't always assume that, but
Well, what do you guys think? Do you think it would be too meta, or
So I will give you this. It would be too mad to do the same scan. Like, that scan is no longer possible.
that's what I thought.
You could look into to see whether or not if there is still enough of the building structure intact that you can figure out if there was some sort of forced entry into the building or not. I will allow sort of an insight check on that if you wish to do that.
Okay, why not?
That's going to be insight plus security, difficulty of 2, complication range of 2.
Okay, I will give you 1 bold to activate bold security and extra die. And there we go.
2 momentum gained.
So that brings us to 3 momentum. This is interesting. Appears on the north end here, the lock mechanism was destroyed by some sort of energy charge. Appears to be about a week old now.
Which end of the building did you say?
North end.
Question for you, if you can ask it. Is there enough residual energy to identify what it came from?
GM.
For a momentum.
Sure, why not? The damage pattern seems to indicate a disruptor style weapon.
While the two of you are conducting your investigation, Dr. Key, you're helping Julia Lewinsky out with the current injured, but there's several more. Give me reason plus medicine difficulty of 2.
Okay. Reason plus medicine, difficulty 2. Focus in emergency medicine or xenobiology or something like that?
I'll take xenobiology.
Okay, I will also... Oh, yes, definitely. I'll spend a momentum on this, because cautious medicine.
Get the momentum back. Doctor, you notice that while Julia Lewinsky's is fairly decent at what she's doing, many of these patients, they're going to need advanced surgery. You calculate at least some of the people that are in this medical tent, at least 5 of them are going to need to be beamed back up to the ship for surgery. Dr. Key, is it? Thank you for your help. Did we just lose him, Captain?
Sorry, I had myself muted. Not at all, Miss Lewinsky. I hope I'm saying that right. You do know that a couple of these people need immediate surgery, correct?
I thought so, but we don't have any. The clinic was destroyed. I have no place to treat them.
I do. Hopefully, the people on board the ship can still handle it. Key to the Commander Shishran. The Shran, sorry.
The Shran here. Go ahead, Doctor.
Commander, about 5 of these people are going to need immediate surgery.
Understood. Have your people in sick bay standing by, and we'll do a direct transport.
Understood.
Yes, Doctor?
Awkward silence after the yes doctor makes me nervous.
Nothing. It's nothing, Commander. I'll take care of it. Key to the Valor? Please don't tell me I'm going to have to do this.
You are no. Ensign Shrevetti here.
Oh, good grief. Who is Engine Shreddy? Is that
Silas.
medical?
Oh, that's engineering. They're at the
Okay,
transporter room.
that's
Yeah.
who's at the transporter room. Okay. I need an immediate beam out of 5 people at my location, as well as myself, direct to sick bay for immediate surgery.
Understood, Doctor. Control plus engineering system by the ship's sensors plus engineering. Difficulty of difficulty of 3. It's not from a pad to a pad 2 plus 2 4, then drop it by 1. Yep.
Yeah.
Difficulty 3.
Okay. Engineering. Grab you. Okay. Good grief. Focus on transporters and replicators. Oh, no talents yet. Okay.
It's our fierce use, man.
I know. Sorry, I'm not used to having 4 different character sheets open on my laptop. I'm gonna have to do the 2 momentum, 1 threat,
Okay.
mainly because I do not want to fail this roll. So there is the engineer's roll, sensors engineering. There is the ship roll.
You just make it.
Nice.
The Strand. And I guess the rest of the Wii team, what are you guys doing?
After I kind of got the fires and everything squared away, I'll head back over to Tavin and Giron and see what they've learned, if anything.
So I guess I would relay the fact that we found the damage lock that is consistent with disruptor style weapons.
Well, it's a start, but it doesn't tell us much. Cadiz as much skirmishing as the 2 colonies have done over the past 30 years. Both sides could have any sort of disruptor. Well, if we're lucky, perhaps some of the farmers who started this, who went to visit the Cardassians, may still be surviving. Let's go see what we can find out from Miss Iwinski. And head back over to where Iwinski is.
You head back over, and she's still working on apparently appears to be a fresh batch, and there are other, Starfleet, medical team is assisting her currently.
Good.
Commander Shran, is that right?
Yes. So, did any of the farmers who went to confront the Cardassians about the stolen food, are any of them, did they survive? Are they available for questioning?
Your doctor just beamed up one of them back to the ship. He is severely injured, not only from his wounds he took, but he was also caught in one of the blasts that destroyed his house and nearly him on top of it.
I understand. I'm sorry to be having to look into this while you've got so much else on your plate, but we know that there are multiple Cardassian ships headed this way. The sooner we can figure out what happened, the better position we'll be to prevent this from escalating any farther.
Yeah, I just got at least the rough count. There's only, at least currently counting all wounded and still breathing, roughly around 4,549 with 200 unaccountable.
So 4,539 survivors with 200 missing.
Yes.
Is that right, Jim? Okay. Right. You need to start preparing your people for at least the possibility of evacuation.
My great-grandfather settled this world, and it's really hard to let go of this place. There's many of us were born here, and many of us have died here, Commander.
I understand, but, and it may not come to that, but there is a possibility at least that it may. When the Cardassians arrive, we will be outnumbered and outgunned. We'll do everything we can, but there may come a point where our choices and your choice is either to evacuate and save your lives or fall into the hands of the Cardassians. And you and I both know that you don't want the latter.
You're asking us to give up our home when we were here first, Commander. That's a lot for all of us to take in right now.
No, I understand. And I'm not saying that it's going to come to that, but you need to start wrapping your head around the idea that it might. We'll do our damnedest to make sure it doesn't. But again, it may be, in that case, it's a choice of leaving your homes and living or staying and dying. You know how the Cardassians treat people who come under their benevolent authority. In any event, we're going to try and find out exactly what did happen.
I really do appreciate that. And then off in the distance, your young child, Miss Julia, Miss Julia. Sorry, Commander. Yes, Kierce, what is it? I was told to give this to you. Kind of pauses for a second and looks at, takes the device, and it You can tell right away that it appears to be a Cardassian, sort of like a little pad, in a way.
All right.
Can I scan it real quick just to make sure it doesn't have a small explosive device in it?
Reason plus security difficulty of 1.
I'm kind of leaning my eye over at it. I mean, I'm at a distance, but close enough to watch this conversation.
1 threat for bold.
To momentum. There is no explosive device in it. It seems to be some sort of small, like almost like a. Essentially, what it is, it's just a small pad.
I ask if I could see it. Take a look at it.
Sure, and hands the pad to you.
Is it encrypted or can I read it as it is?
It appears that there's a message on standby, ready to be played.
Right. In this era, how's our translator, universal translators?
It's TNG level.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and try to play the message.
You start and hit the play on the recording device. If you're still alive, Governor Kulecki, you will surrender your colony and submit to Cardassian rule. You will answer for your crimes you have committed against the people of the Cardassian Union. You have until the Gull Bemlet arrives, or 58 of your people will be executed by dawn tomorrow. And the message ends.
Are you in contact with the Cardassian governor?
Our communication relays center was destroyed. It's going to take months to rebuild that.
Understood.
Assuming we even have the supplies to do it.
Understood. The Shrant, Captain.
Maxwell here.
Captain, Miss Nikki just received a message from the Cardassian governor threatening, demanding the surrender of the Federation colony and threatening to kill 58 Federation citizens, which apparently the Cardassians have hostage currently. They gave them until the Gull appears. So apparently Bimlet is on his way. Captain, I recommend you contact the Cardassian governor directly. They'll be a lot more impressed with you than they will with me.
I'm not so sure about that, Commander, but I will do my best.
And I'll fill him in on the busted lock and that we're kind of at an impasse in the investigation, but we're looking for new leads. And that one of the key witnesses may be already aboard the Valor.
Understood. Give me a second, Commander. Let me keep you on the line. The Shran to Dr. Kai. Sorry, not the Shran. Wrong character. Wrong character. Maxwell to Dr. Kai.
Personality disorder.
Dr. Key here. A little tied up, Captain.
I understand that. How long until those survivors are available to be questioned?
I'll let you know as soon as all of them are out of surgery, but Captain, to be honest, they're going to need at least 24 hours or more to recover.
contact the Cardassian governor and see if I can get information from him about this incident, but just see what you can do, Doctor.
Do my best.
That's all I ask. Maxwell out. Well, Commander, you heard that.
Aye, sir.
So 24 hours at the outside.
And Gul Bamel and the Gallowers will be here long before then, sir. Looks like we're gonna whatever we're gonna figure out we're gonna have to do on our own.
Weird.
Sorry, I missed.
Oh. I said send me all the information that you've gathered so far.
And I'll send that up. We'll see what more we can do down here, sir.
Thank you, Commander. Valor out.
And I'll go ahead.
I was going to, after they finish that conversation, ask where was this pad found at?
Julia kind of looks to the young child. Last night during the raids, I followed Beth and some of the other farmers. They led a charge towards the Cardassian colony. The Cardassians kind of left, and they took them all hostage. They even killed a few. And that fat one gave me that pad, and told me to run for it. Julie just kind of face palms, just kind of.
I'll squeeze the young boy's shoulder. Mr. Zoran, Commander Tavin, is there anything about the storage containers for the colony's food supplies that might enable us to determine if they're in the Cardassians' hands or not? If we could get some sort of material scan on what survived in the warehouse and then scan the Cardassian. If it's something different enough, we might be able to determine if the Cardassians actually have the goods or not.
We mainly grow mostly earth-based produce that grows here, from potatoes to some corn, as well as, fruits and vegetables.
So nothing particular that our sensors could potentially pick up.
Well, from what I can tell, the Cardassians, they don't typically eat this stuff.
But you said that they had stolen food supplies before.
They have. Usually it's the grain, the wheat.
And was that what was missing this time?
Yes, along with essentially other byproducts. Am I cutting out?
I think it's me. Let me reconnect. Okay, see how that works. So usually grain along with what else? Or grain was missing.
Other
Well,
byproducts. Since there's no sugar cane, we use alternatives with the corn to make essentially corn syrup.
and the Cardassians, what do they grow?
Honestly, I have no idea. They have. Honestly, I have no idea how they even sustain their colony. We suspected they might be sending food shipments in from outside of the realm. I don't even know how they could grow food in that place. Water is so scarce that
It's in Duran. Are the Valor sensors capable of scanning for and differentiating Earth-based foodstuffs from whatever supplies the Cardassians may have? We do have those badass advanced sensors.
Say that again.
We have an advanced sensors, high-resolution sensors talent on the ship, so. And I was asking if Zoran thought that the Valor sensors were sensitive enough to pick up human, like Earth-based food products, differentiated from Cardassian ones.
They should be able to.
All right. Unless you think there's something you need to take care of down here, head back to the ship and get me those scans.
Yes, sir. Test communicator. Sayron to Valor. 1 to beam up.
control engineering assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering difficulty of 2.
So engineering and what?
It's for whoever's in the transporter room to do this role. Control engineering,
Oh, okay.
difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering.
I got her. I guess take a threat since we don't have any momentum for 3 dice. Well, I made it.
Ship, pray it rolls a 1 or a 2.
What? Sorry, what's the ship need to roll?
Sensors engineering.
Okay.
Transporter.
Nope.
Well, it's nice knowing you, Zeron.
I will take that as threat.
Thank you.
No need for a transporter accident on the first day.
I mean, she made it. You just appeared like 6 inches off the floor and cracked your ankle.
Anything else to do on the planet before we go back to the ship?
Not until I hear from the captain about the Cardassian governor.
All right, Captain. Currently, you're not there just yet. You were trying to contact the governor or not?
Yeah, currently trying to contact the governor since everything.
After some, trying to get a hold of them, as they continue to try to ignore you. On screen, here's the governor of the Cardassian colony. See, Starfleet finally sent one of theirs to this colony. No matter, the goal will deal with you. You're here to be complicit in answering for their crimes.
I'm sorry, what crimes are we talking about?
The murder of my people.
Really, because I'm told that they came to ask questions about possible stolen grain.
Yeah, in doing so, they also murdered 2 of my citizens in the colony. I will not stand for this.
Was this before or after you killed 2 of them?
It's actually more than that.
I thought it was 2 dead and the rest wounded.
I literally gave the survivor numbers to him. It was 4,539. The population was 7,178. There's a little bit of a math you guys have to do there.
I think he was talking about the original incident.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah.
the original incident when they went to talk to the governor.
They
Yeah.
accuse us for stealing their grain. What do we need for human Federation products?
Well, apparently someone did because their storage facility was blown open by a disruptor.
Disruptors are used by wide species. Hell, even outlaws use them.
Yes, even outlaws, which is why I'm sure that they came to ask questions about the possible stolen grain to see whether or not it was you, since you have been implicated in multiple food disappearances from them.
These are wild accusations. I will not stand for this. If the colony doesn't surrender, then we will take it by force.
I'm sorry, attacking unarmed
cuts.
civilians?
He closes the channel on you.
Oh, no. Get him back. Get him back.
And as you're fiery upset, this is when the operations officer walks onto the bridge.
I halfway see him walking onto the bridge right as Maxwell is uttering, "Get him back."
Where's my token at? There it is.
Listen. Glad you're back. And you can see Maxwell is visually frustrated.
So I'll take a quick look at what just transpired as far as the comm log goes, and I'll try to forcibly open the channel back up.
A daring plus engineering difficulty of... I got threat. Let's go 4.
Daring plus engineering.
Difficulty of 4. Assisted by the ship's communications plus engineering.
Let's see. Do I have anything that's going to help here? Subspace theory has to do with communications. That's the best I got as far as focus. anything else doesn't really help much.
I will allow subspace theory an increased complication for a focus.
Might be time for a determination spend.
I'm thinking about it. What would you say the difficulty would be?
It is 4.
Oh my goodness.
You guys been giving me a lot of threats, so I gotta spend it.
Alright, well, I'll give him, 3 more threats?
Well, I mean, it depends. You can spend your determination for an automatic crit, so you've already got 2, and then you'd only have to make 2. So
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't hurt to try to generate some momentum at the same time and do well on this.
yeah.
So we can spend the well, no, I need to say the determination for that sensor scan probably. Hell. Alright. Captain Bear like me after this. Spend the determination. Let's see. Value. Anything. Yeah. Understands technology with a passion.
I don't think I see a reason why that would apply here.
Well, he understands the comm systems.
Right, but you're literally forcing. This is not really so much. It's how to describe this. So I will allow it in this time, but it's pretty stretched for that value for this.
Okay.
Well, could he take mission directive since we're trying to gather information on what happened to the colony?
Mission directive would apply.
Okay. Alright. So automatic 1 plus 2 extra dice from the 3 threat.
So no, it is 5 threats for additional 2 dice. Because your determination counts as spending 1 momentum or threat for the 2 automatic fixes. Because I'm
just gonna buy 1, so it's
2.
So
be 2.
Okay, so it's just gonna buy the 1 die.
Okay.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Well, you have bold engineering, right?
No.
It does not.
Okay.
The ship did succeed, and so you did make it. Just no momentum.
But no, because wait, yeah, it was difficulty 4, right?
Yes, it was. The 2
okay,
auto successes plus the ship, which it rolled a 1.
How does 1 get 0 successes and still somehow come out on top?
You force the communication open again on the view screen. He appears. I thought I got rid of you.
I am not gotten rid of so easily, Governor. While I am trying to be respectful to your position as governor of the Cardassian colony on board on Sheva 2, I am also trying to gather information about this incident. Seeing as how we received a distress call from our colony and was unable to contact it. I am trying to figure out what happened. That requires me to ask certain questions of you that might, at some point of view, be seen as unprofessional.
And what questions do you have?
Because I know they came when the farmers from our colony came to talk to you, what happened?
I already told you, Starfleet. They came here with their wild accusations. They threatened my people, and then they shot and killed 2 of mine. So we returned fire and be glad that they're probably still alive.
Well, one of them is in critical condition right now in my sick bay. When I ask questions of him tomorrow, at the latest, I hope his account of events matches yours.
I'm sure
Which,
this will all be over long before that even ever happens,
of
Captain.
course, hold on, let me go to my
Beblet.
Gull Bimlet is on his way with 3 Galore class warships, which are approximately at this time about 4 hours away.
More like 3.
Oh, okay. So he would have said whatever time, but
Yeah, no.
And of course, there's also the matter of the almost 4,000 dead Federation civilians, which could be seen as an act of war. Because apparently, Gul Kunichi tried to talk with you before that happened. I am hoping that this gets resolved, Governor Oya. Without more bloodshed. I will say this. If your troops move on our colony at Sheva 2, it will be met with deadly force.
I'm sure your starship pose a very significant threat. Good day, Captain.
Good day, Governor. Well, three hours, guys. Hopefully nothing untoward. Get me the away team.
Real quick though, scan. So while
Yeah.
that's going on, reason plus science, difficulty of 3, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science. For the grain.
You there, Ensign?
Yeah, working on it.
Okay.
I will take sensor operations for a focus.
I've done plenty of sensor operations on the ships and succeeded already. As far as testing a theory.
I don't know if I'm gonna give you the testing the theory though.
Looks like I don't need it.
No, but yeah, it would have been 2 threat. To roll, you'd be rolling 4 dice. You do gain a momentum.
Gain 1. Yeah. Who's still on the surface? That has a tricorder or a pad on them.
The Shran, Tavin, the medical team, and the security team are still down there.
All right. I'll send it to Shran's tricorder.
Of course, the captain has no idea what you're doing, so he wouldn't ask about it.
Zeron, are you going to pass that
Yeah.
information?
Yeah, I'm did it by Discord.
Yeah, I got it.
And then I'm just gonna be like, Captain, permission to return to the away team.
What'd you find, Ensign? Because that's what you... Apparently you came up here to use the sensors, just wondering.
Yeah, we was doing a scan of the colony and the Cardassian colony, and there's a storage container that might contain some grains of wheat.
At the Cardassian colony?
At the Cardassian colony.
Great. Great. Okay. Really don't want to get into a shooting match. Hopefully the Gull will take care of things on his side. Well, you're free to return to the planet, Ensign. Just be ready to return at a moment's notice.
So I'll head back to the transporter room.
All right. I will say that you kind of speed things along for time's sakes. I will wave the transporter roll and beam back down to the planet's surface.
Good work, Ensign. Miss... Oh, I can't see her name. Iwinski, how far away is the Cardassian colony from here?
Several kilometers. Roughly around. It's a good trip. Takes a few hours.
Understood. The Shran to Captain Maxwell.
Maxwell here.
How did the negotiations with the governor go, sir? Ah. What about our hostages?
Yeah, I didn't even get that far.
Ensign Zeron tells me that he's discovered evidence of Earth grain types in Cardassian storage areas.
Yeah, he told me that too.
Do you wish our team to try and extract our hostages?
No, I don't want you to take any aggressive action. I'm hoping that when the Gull gets here, I can at least negotiate with him better than I can negotiate with Governor Oya. Maybe this is an internal matter and the governor is doing unsanctioned things that is not sanctioned by the Cardassian government, and the governor will be severely punished, which, if my understanding of the Cardassian legal system, means that the governor will be killed by the Gull.
And the Shran during that's kind of wandering off to get a little distance and privacy. Due respect, Captain, but Admiral Haggard warned us that Bamel might use this as an excuse to lay claim to the whole planet. I'm not so sure that we can count on his reasonableness.
Yes, however, he is claiming a Federation world because the Federation colonists settled there first, which I believe we have the records to
Guys, I
prove.
gotta go for a minute. Got an emergency here.
Okay.
Which I believe we have the records to prove that Federation settled the planet first by them claiming that it's Cardassian territory. We're at an impasse right now. I'm trying to get this resolved as diplomatically as possible, Commander, but I need to go into Federation legal system and figure out if we have any leg to stand on when it comes to this. I believe we do. Some possibly vague Federation bylaw that we can use, but I gotta do some research.
Understood.
I got 3 hours. I got 3 hours to get this together.
Understood, Captain, but when those Galores arrive, I mean, the Valor will put up a hell of a fight, but we're going to be outnumbered and outgunned for sure, with no backup in sight, and it all, I don't know how much we should risk in believing that the Cardassians aren't ready to start up the war again.
Well, I'm hoping against hope, if you know what I mean, Commander.
Yes, sir. Any instructions for us here below?
Yeah. Set up a defensive perimeter. If Cardassians make a move against the colony within the next 3 hours, call the ship.
Understood, sir.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
Fred.
Commander.
Tavin, you've gotten a good look at the terrain from above. Where do you think the most likely route of attack from the Cardassian colony will be?
He had to go.
Oh, right. Ugh. Well, based on Tavin's reports, what do I think the most likely route for the attack for the colony would be?
This colony is actually situated pretty well. There is actually a mountain range between here and the Cardassian colony, so there is a certain region that is the only terrain passable. The other parts of the mountain range would be kind of difficult to transverse.
Why not just use the transporters?
To do what?
If we wanted to go over there, why not just use the transporters instead of walking the whole distance?
Well, yeah, but we have to figure out first where we're wanting to go.
True.
So is there a place that we could set up that would serve as a kind of bottleneck that they would have to pass through, that a small group could potentially delay them and bleed them hard?
The mountain pass,
Okay.
which is about 40 kilometers if they decide to send ground troops.
Okay.
Actually walk ground troops. Whether or not
Right. No, if the ships get in, they could beam. I don't think you can do that out of line of sight on a planet, but I don't know. Can you, GM?
Transporters are usually 40,000 kilometers, so that's not going to do you much good outside about an AU.
Okay, hold on. So they would have to be essentially in orbit,
Right.
Yeah,
in the appropriate hemisphere of the planet. So
pretty much.
Right. So we don't have to worry about if the colony's going to attack, but the fact is they're not planning to move until the Gull gets here. And I don't have enough troops to defend both places. Okay, so do one of the security team officers know the effective range of the kind of mortars that we think have been used against the town?
they're long range. They were probably fired just outside of the actual Cardassian complex. They're
Okay, so they're firing up to 40 miles away.
Yeah.
Be tempting to try and take them out so they couldn't bring the colony under bombardment again. But the captain doesn't want me taking any kind of action.
He did say call this ship if troops are moving in, so you could
Right.
probably read into that, oh, hey, if mortars start coming in, call the ship.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that, if they're not going to move till the Galores get here, then they can beam in. If I've got everybody out by the mountain pass where I can observe the town, then, all of a sudden I'm not in any position to help defend the town.
Well, here's my question. Would General Order 8 apply to being on the ground?
General Order 8 being?
Upon sighting a warship within Federation space and identifying its belonging to a foreign power, the commander of a Starfleet vessel installation shall determine the reason for that craft's presence in that vicinity. Using that in mind, what if the Cardassians come towards Federation colony territory? Basically, do we have the right to defend it? Being a pretty obvious answer, but it goes on to say should be taken care to avoid unnecessary loss of sentient life. But it's basically at the commander's discretion.
Right. Well, I mean, we have the right to defend a Federation colony and facilities. You know, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to keep an eye on things to do that. So,
Well, you as a commander lower rank still have some sort of negotiating ability. If you want to go talk to the Cardassian governor, since they're not responding to the captain.
yeah, but that's kind of the captain's job.
You and the captain could try good cop, bad cop about it.
So yeah, I want to get a better look at will the Cardassian colony be visible from that mountain pass? In other words, is it a good observation point?
There we go. That's what I was looking
Um, not really. You have to actually go further. I mean, you could technically do because the ship's in orbit. Like you could literally do a sensor sweep again of the actual compound from the ship, and kind of get an idea of what's going on in the Cardassian
Fair enough.
colony. So,
The Shran to Valor.
Maxwell here.
Captain, could I get a scan of the Cardassian colony? I'd like to see exactly what they're organized and where their mortar pits are.
I sent that to your tricorder already.
for the grain, and you have the coordinates of the colony, but you need, for like what he's asking of, like you need more. You have to ask questions, or it would technically be a separate scan, but because you already did a scan like that before, like for the actual Cardassian colony, your theory into practice or theory or testing a theory would apply to the role. If you guys want to do another sensor sweep of the Cardassian colony. And you can technically do it remotely, it's just an increased difficulty. Like you could be at the colony reading from your data, on your data pad, and
All right, Zeron, give me a scan of the Cardassian colony. Particularly with their layout and defensive and offensive as far as the mortars go.
And the captain's still on the line during this. Okay, cool.
Reason plus science, tested by the ship's sensors plus science, difficulty of 4, complication range of 2.
Since I am in communication with Zeron, I would like to use my captain's ability to give him my determination.
Okay.
And I get to roll this. Nope.
Yeah, testing theory will apply, so you get a bonus d20 for the roll. Do you wish to buy any more additional dice? And are you spending the determination for an automatic crit success that the captain just gave you?
Okay, I'm back. We still here?
Yeah, we're still here. You get that, Ensign?
Get what?
It's a reason science diff 4 assisted by the ship's sensor science. I gave you my determination.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
And testing a theory will apply, so you get a bonus d20 because you've already scanned the Cardassian colony before.
Science.
Do you wish to spend the determination before you roll?
Yeah. Well, he gave me the point of determination, so I might as well use it. But I'm on the ground right now.
I said you can do it remotely through a pad.
Oh, okay.
It's an increased difficulty Y, which is why it's difficulty 4 instead of difficulty 3.
Okay.
And complication range is 2.
Okay. So using the determination and spend 2 threat.
You already get a 3 bonus a bonus die. It's going to cost
2 threat.
3 threat for a 4th dice. Testing the theory is kicking in here because you've already scanned the colony.
Oh, okay.
So do you want to buy a 4th dice? That would be the 5th dice, but
Difficulty 4. Oh wait, no, I got 3 dice plus an automatic 1, right?
yes. Plus
Yeah,
the
so
ship.
no. Yeah, definitely don't need any more dice then.
To momentum, there is a complication.
Man.
Well, we could
Yeah.
use the 2 and crush it.
Yeah. I was gonna quash that, but I had an idea for a advantage, but I'm not gonna be able to do it, so.
The Cardassian colony seems to be laid out more like a military base with defensive walls and disruptor platforms. There's about 3,000 colonists, and only a very small development of agriculture for their needs, which would suggest that agricultural lands would not sustain the colony without having shipments of food from outside the colony.
Yeah. It's a
There
beachhead.
are 58 humans currently in a small storage building near the west end of the Cardassian colony. Can I see if there's any Cardassians close to that storage building?
Find out if they have any sort of transporter screen over it.
I'm more worried about if they have any Cardassians next to that building right now, like guards.
Yeah, but if there's not a transporter screen, we can just beam the civilians out.
True. Some sort of transporter dampening field, and there are Cardassians around.
Say there was a field.
Yeah, there is it's a transport dampening field.
Storage facility where they've got them is within the walls and defensive perimeter, I'm assuming.
I believe so, based on what. Yes.
Captain, are you still on the line?
Yes, Commander, I'm still here.
Did you get all that? Looks like there are hostages, but the Cardis don't have a colony here. They have a forward base.
They have a forward military base. Yeah. Yeah.
Probably their raids on the human food stores were tactical exercises to keep their troops from going garrison crazy, and probably to supplement their food supply, but not primarily.
Agreed.
I mean, if they,
But they're probably.
there's
they're
nothing.
probably-
There's nothing. There's nothing we can really do against that kind of facility, sir. Not with the ground forces we have. The dampener will keep us from beaming them out. I admit, sir, I'm out of options.
I know you are, Commander. Right now, because it's a military base, I am kind of out of options until the Gull gets here. Because Governor Oya really doesn't want to talk to me.
I can position troops to check for any crossing on land, but if they come in by transporter, they'll be behind us. I don't have enough people down here to watch both possibilities.
We'll keep an eye on the colony for you, Commander. Just...
Understood, sir.
Oh, I'm hoping Gull Bimlet is understanding, but I don't like it.
The Gaylord should probably be in communication range by now.
Agreed.
Captain, do you want me to stay down here, or should I come back aboard?
I need somebody down there with significant tactical training, Commander.
Understood, sir.
And right now, it's either you or me, and I might have a fight up here, so better to have
Understood.
you down there.
Understood. Our recon let us find a bottleneck.
Yeah.
I'll position our troops there.
See if you can get everybody who's mobile underground as well, in case they decide to start shelling you.
Aye, sir. This ran out. Miss Owoski, you'd best get your people back into shelters, just in case things go south. The ship's going to be keeping an eye on the colony from above for any Cardassian B-mins, and I'm going to take my people and block that mountain pass in case they try to come by land. The captain's hoping to be able to negotiate with this Gull Bimlet when he arrives.
We'll do our best. Several of the shelters, though, collapsed. So we'll try to
Again,
Very
organize
good shelter.
we can start beaming some of your people up to the ship, perhaps the wounded or the children and the elderly. At least get them out of harm's way, and if we manage to stabilize the situation, we can beam them right back down. Quarters might be a bit cramped, but the Valor can hold up to 8,500 in emergency situations, so your people won't be too uncomfortable.
I'll get the children and the elderly gathered to have them beam up to the ship. The rest of us will take we'll beef up the shelters and prepare just for another attack.
Understood. Tavin, take your security team, beam up to the ship and beam back down near the mountain pass and take up position there. I'm going to help organize and get the youngsters and elders beamed up to the Valor, and then I'll join you there.
Very good, sir.
And while
Ensign
that's go ahead.
Ensign Zayron, the captain may need you when it comes to communications, so you head on back up to the ship and take your post.
Yes, sir.
While that's going on, Zevron, you're back at your post. Tavin, you and your security team beamed over to the Mountain Ridge area. The elderly and children are being beamed aboard, have been beamed aboard the Valor. And as the 3 hours comes quickly to pass, on the view screen, you see 3 Cardassian Glory class vessels enter the system and bear on a course. And as that happens, begin getting a transmission from the lead Galore. And with that, this would be to be continued.